that wanted equality, that wanted love. And maybe, just maybe, this is who we are. People like me have to come to grips with that potential reality. That maybe this is who we are. Maybe we are a theocracy. Maybe we really don't give a shit about the person over there just so far as long as we are the ones happy. This country made a mistake today, gang. And tomorrow I'll talk all about the voting, the Ted Cruzes, the Donald Trumps, the Supreme Court people. Again, I'm going to charge this fucking iPad to the fucking max. I'm going to empty all the memory space because this is going to be a long fucking show. But I just had to get this one off my chest real fast. And plus, I missed you guys on YouTube. Hey, how's it going? This country said one thing today, gang, and that is birthing people are not human enough to decide whether they are human. Apparently, some people in some black robes that have never met you, will never meet you, have made the call that we know what is best for you. Oh, what's that? What? You want a choice? Go fuck yourself. I'm going to make that choice for you. That's what they said. The same country that is going to war and fighting like there's no fucking tomorrow to make sure that an 18-year-old can get a fucking AR-15 is the exact same country that just fixed their fucking mouth to say people who are capable of getting pregnant, go fuck yourself. Gang, it is harder to get an abortion than it is to get an AR-15. Let that shit sink in. An AR-15's only job is to stop people from converting oxygen to carbon dioxide. And the exact same side of the political fence who said that bullshit, everyone can get a gun, are the exact same people right now jerking off all over you. Because apparently they're pro-life, right? Even Buddy's mad than a motherfucker. Right, Buddy? He wants dinner. So I got to wrap this up. Again, so far as long as that life is
what up, everybody? All right, I'm dropping 10 million pocket change on the
no name, no
chat right now.
Number, nothing.
I appreciate y'all sticking with
Again,
me.
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
I just belt, hashtag a professional. That is the most important life ever.
But yeah, I really do appreciate y'all.
Greg Abbott,
love it.
I live in Texas. You know what that fucker said about the people in Uvalde?
Also, I love this guy, Gin and Truth. I'm going to try to have him on. I'm going to try to interview
21 families.
I've been interacting with him on the comment section of his videos.
Cancer.
And I think he's really open to being interviewed. And I think I can help him with some technology,
They didn't choke. Oh, what is it? What does the NRA always say? What about hammers? No one.
If I get really lucky, I'm going to ask him to do a podcast or something with me.
Another person, this time a teenager, with an AR-15 went and capped 21 people, 19 of which were babies. Did you guys see that interview with the emergency room doctor? When he was sitting there saying that he was praying. He knew these children's gang. And as another body came in, he used words like pulverized. He used words like decapitated. He said that is what an AR-15 does to a 10-year-old skull. That's what he said. And he said, I knew I was going to get bodies. I was just praying that this one would have a head attached. Wrong, mister. This one was decapitated. Pray that this one would have a head attached. Nope. The skull was pulverized. So you know what they asked the parents to do? Spit in the fucking cup. Now let's take what's left of your baby. Okay. There's your spit. There's... Sorry, Miss Rodriguez. You can go collect what's left of your kid in the city morgue. Greg Abbott, Mr. Pro-Life, you know what he said about that shooting? It could have been worse. That's what he said. Look that shit up. The exact same people who sat there, Ted Cruz included. Now I'm talking about Texas. Ted Cruz, all these fuckfaces. Right after the Uvalde shooting, they went to the NRA fucking meeting and sat there and did exactly what they were paid to do. And that is to make everyone with the gun, you're the victim. You are the victim. How dare those kids die? Now you have to sit here and justify why you need a machine whose only mission is to launch murder nuggets. And these are the exact same people talking about pro-life this and pro-life that. And they are celebrating
all right, 10 mil.
today's victory for God. Gang, Uncle Bobby's going to wax on this one tomorrow. But I'm still going to give you the Uncle Bobby sign-off. Gang, Uncle Bobby is only giving you one motherfucking problem.
All right,
So
I have aces,
result,
that's 10.
Uncle Bobby is going to give you one
A run.
motherfucking
What is
solution.
the run? 15?
The overturning of Roe v. Wade. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, 15,
It is a
152,
sad
25.
day in this country. See that lady over my shoulder? She was born an object. My mom was born in the early 40s. Just like all the women born in the early 40s who looked just like her. They were born objects.
Yes. All right. So it's just 10,
People literally made
15 for the
laws to
run,
tell
which
black
includes
women
the ace,
what
right?
the
So it's
fuck
just
to
ace,
do
10,
and what
king,
the
queen,
fuck to
jack.
think and what the fuck to say. Now
And
in
then
2022,
marriage
we've done
is
that
2,
to black
27.
women, Mexican women,
30.
Asian women, white women,
Kings around is
Latino
8.
women. If
Queens around
you have a vagina, if you
6.
identify as a woman, if you have the capability of getting pregnant, we just made you an
A
object.
double marriage
There's some asshole right now birthing people
is for
who's never mentioned.
a royal marriage. I think
who
it's
just
also
made
for.
a choice for you, not a choice whether you're going to drink gin or whiskey. Who you're going to root for? Where you're going to go to school?
No, double marriage
No.
is 8. No, double marriage is
What's
4.
inside your
A royal
body?
marriage is 4. Yeah, I was right.
Apparently,
Double marriage is 4. Royal
A
marriage
whole
is
bunch
4.
of people that you've never
I
met,
had it.
they know better than you.
All right.
So I'm going to ask you, are you ready to go to the polls?
Royal marriage is 4. Marriage
Are you?
is 2.
Again,
Another
you gonna
marriage
make
is 2.
excuses?
Pinnacles
Or are you going to
15.
make sweat droplets?
So you
Which one?
have 8
Now to
and
my
6
dumbass,
is 14
now to this fucker,
plus
hey, Robert Reed,
4
shut the fuck
is
up.
18.
Maybe you need
Plus
to start to
4 is
understand that maybe,
22.
just maybe, that's what this country actually is. Gang, when someone tells you who they are,
Plus
you need to believe.
marriage
You need
is
to write that shit down. This country was born of hate.
26. And then Pinnacles 4?
It was born of inequality. I'm going to keep fighting because
Oh, okay. Yeah, Pinnacles 4.
that's what I do.
4, 30, 60, 90. Okay. I had the Pinnacle wrong. I thought Pinnacles 15.
But that being
Pinnacles
said,
4. Okay. Yeah, these are what you're trying to get, and this is the best way to do it, is to just study the meld and count it up. This is how I used to do it with my dad. You used to shuffle all the cards, deal them around the table, and count the meld.
That's what I know. Hold on. Where's Dad?
Double marriage.
Because that guy
is 4. Marriage is 2, 6.
Him. All he's ever done his entire life is fight. He'll die a fighter. So will I. Gang, this fight is sitting on some bullshit. But I'm going to fight it. And I'm going to wax on this shit more tomorrow. I'm about to launch this one. Hopefully. This is a sad day. Gang, the big guy's held you long enough. He's signing the fuck off. Gin and Truth. Let's go.
Isn't Chuck really saying that because of our brain chemistry and because of what this plant can deliver to it, that God wanted us to get high from the beginning? Chuck, isn't that really what you're saying?
First of all, how do you think we got here? God was high.
God was high.
This is Star Talk Sports Edition. I got my reliable co-host, Chuck Nice. Chuck.
What's happening, Neil?
All right. Chuck is a professional stand-up comedian and actor and a sports enthusiast, though he's never actually done sports in his life.
Hence the enthusiasm.
Okay. Rather than participant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. But, of course, my other co-host has been a professional athlete and still announces soccer professionally. Did I get that correct, Gary O'Reilly?
Yes, you did, sir.
And who did you play for in the
two
UK?
Out.
Okay.
Gotta come back to, I'm going to say the Ace of Hearts. Yeah.
And Brighton and Hove Albion, which is a bit more of a mouthful.
You couldn't hold down a job with one team.
The other Ace of Hearts?
They got rid of me at least 3 times.
So either they all wanted you or they all didn't want you. What you can leave that one a mystery.
Ace of Clubs?
I had 14 years of being sacked by my employees.
Very good. Well,
the other Ace of Clubs?
Last year we did a show on sort of marijuana.
The Ace of
and
Diamonds.
Some controversies with it related to sports. And it looks like there's more to go on that subject. So what did you concoct for today?
Well, last year when
Jacket Clubs?
we got in a discussion with Dr. Stacey Gruber, our audience really loved it.
Yeah,
so,
it's like you play your aces and then you try to get your partner in. So your goal here is to get to your partner with and who'll have a winner.
And sort of harvested their cosmic curiosity.
Nope, the other team got it. It's all right.
To the show. So
it's a partial
but it was good that
it's mainly driven by our audience.
there.
So everyone keep their eyes on the road. The last time we decided that world peace.
I'm gonna have to beat it, so I'd say play tennis spades.
Getting high with Chuck, which I thought was splendid. In my classic British understatement, splendid idea.
It's such a simple way to. The answers are out there. Is all I'm saying, people.
We learned that marijuana
can't beat
legislation
it. Jack of Spades
is way behind scientific understanding and data, and so we're sort of pulling those things together. Let's find out at this particular point in time where we are with Dr. Gruber's cannabinoid research and what other research in medical science is taking place with CBD, and then. Once we've tapped into that,
it's no choice.
We'll throw ourselves into our audiences, like I said, cosmic curiosity.
All right. So that means we've got Stacey Gruber once again. Stacey, welcome back to Star Talk.
I should cut it, and I should cut it to win it.
Excellent.
So tennis
and
spades.
I got your whole CV here. Director of the Cognitive and Clinical Neuroimaging Core at McLean Hospital's Brain Imaging Center.
I want all of my spades to win. I want to force any other Trump out, right? Because if somebody else has an ace of spades, it could beat that. But then again, I think the other aces are out. So I'm going to say 10 of spades. It's either 10 of spades or the queen of clubs.
I tried.
That's because
10 of spades.
Somebody was high when they came up with it. That's why.
I haven't been keeping a strict count. It being the 10 of spades tells me that the other aces were played.
I was thinking mine.
So nothing can beat my 10 of spades. Nothing can beat this 10 of spades.
But you know, I wish that we had the word cannabis in the title instead of marijuana, because marijuana has such a
nothing can beat the king.
It, right?
I'm gonna say just keep going. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go all the way.
Then if you try to go back, then
because now when I go back to the
McKine,
king of
McMahon,
clubs, I might have forced all the other clubs out of anybody's
states have medical
hands.
marijuana laws, so I figured
King of spades.
Okay.
No, now they want to go to the queen. Okay, so now this is a good count.
You know,
this is like it's keeping a good count, and it's going.
Nobody under the age of 50 who hears marijuana and goes,
there may be another 10 out there. Instead, go to your queen of clubs, try to force the rest of the Trump out, and then it'll be safe to come back to the king.
Actually, it's literally a weed.
That the ace gets in there.
So Stacey, who started calling you the pot dog?
You got to cut this with the king,
I think
king
that
of spades.
Came, from something I did on CNN many years ago, the very first weed documentary called Weed on CNN that started sort of a whole,
king of clubs
cycle or series of these things. I was referred to as pot doc. I think Sanjay said, "Is it true your patients call you pot doc?" And I actually
Queen
told
of
him they
spades.
call me lots of things. That is one of them. That is one of them.
You heard that, Chuck? She's on first name.
No choice.
Sanjay, of course.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah. We all know.
We all know Sanjay.
Yeah, she calls him San.
Yeah,
You know, just
exactly.
How do we do? We did okay.
truth, in fact,
We
I
did good,
do
we did
not,
good.
but yeah.
I'm not so worried about the score. It's on
Sanjay Gupta,
easy. I'm not really
Gupta.
taking the score seriously. I'm just trying to familiarize myself with the rules and the basic strategies and the points and all of that
again. Really
again.
did raise the nation's consciousness.
So I'm probably just
about
gonna
cannabis
do a
over
couple of
marijuana.
easy nights.
And well, I think the
Few easy
CNN
nights,
documentary
maybe,
was the very first
just
one to
to
really take an in-depth look.
get
And
that
it was
stuff
supposed
really
to be when
solid.
they talked to our hospital. They really were coming in
All
to
right,
look at what we had been spending, at
let's
that point,
see.
more than 2 decades on.
I don't have
looking at some of the potential
aces.
negative impact of
I
cannabis
don't have
on the developing brain and
kings.
what happens if you're exposed early.
Don't
and
have
then how you mouse-
queens.
And it very quickly evolved into
Don't
a
have
different story
jacks.
about the potential medical or therapeutic applications of cannabis, which we were also getting involved with. So it was really a very different
Don't have a
story. And it was
run.
the very first time the world, well, I shouldn't say the world, this country was introduced to the idea of some of the non-intoxicating
I
compounds from the plant
have
being used as therapy in children, like Charlotte Figi.
2
for whom
marriages.
Charlotte's Web is named. The
One in
sort of
spades, one in
famous,
hearts.
very high CBD product that allowed a little girl with an intractable seizure
And I
disorder to
have
live seizure-free,
pinochle.
which was rather amazing. So
I have
you guys-
double
you guys pulled the
pinochle, which I
wrestling
believe
reverse?
is
that what they call it,
30.
wrestling? The reverse.
Yeah,
So,
the reverse is someone has you in a
2
hole,
queen of spades, 2
and
jack
if
of
you
diamonds
just
is a
escape,
double
that's a
pinochle. I
one-point
think
escape.
that's
But in
30.
one maneuver, you
Plus
can flip
the
situation, and then you're on top,
marriage
you
would be
control. That's actually worth 2
32.
points. That's more valuable
The
than
marriage
just
and hearts
escaping.
makes it
Yeah,
34.
You guys pulled the
Four.
weed reverse.
So let me see.
Apparently
You
we
did a
did.
weed reverse on them because they came after you to try to, disparage marijuana, and then you guys turned it around and was like, look at all this good stuff it does.
Wait,
30, yeah, 4,
wait,
30,
I gotta
60,
butt in.
90.
Wait, Charlotte from Charlotte's Web. This is the
All
story
right,
that has talking
so
rats and
I
talking
thought I
spiders.
got 34.
No, very,
we have
so
to get at
interesting.
least
So
20.
once again, a bunch of young
So
people
that
would not
means I am
necessarily
safe
get
to
that,
go to
right?
54.
So E.B. White, the famous book, good,
Right.
yes. No. So Charlotte's
But I
Web
could probably
is
get up to like
is a,
64. Let's see what it
a
says.
strain of cannabis that
Whoa,
is
it
known
doesn't
for
go
its
really
high
high.
CBD or cannabidiol content, which is non-intoxicating. And actually, the way this goes is
And it makes you see talking spiders. This is what you're going to land on here. This is what
no, but as Chuck very appropriately pointed out the very first time we met, and I knew I liked him, he said, "This explains the talking snake in the Garden of Eden," right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right. It may not have been a fig leaf covering their most private parts. Charlotte Figi was a little girl with an intractable seizure disorder. This child was having more than 200 seizures a week.
I'm going to go
Her
spades because I have the
parents- her parents-
tops.
She's one of twins. She was. one of twins, and
Although
her
my
parents
diamonds were
sort of
strong
at their
too.
end, and they had, I think, just signed a DNR, which must be heartbreaking for a 5 or 6
All
year old
right,
child.
this is crazy.
they
All right,
do not resuscitate.
we're gonna start with Ace of Spades.
This was, and imagine
we gotta pass
being
cards
one of
first.
twins. So now
Sorry.
you have a normally developing child. and you have
Why
this poor
these
child
cards?
with Dravet
Oh, right, because
syndrome,
I took
which is an
the
intractable pediatric
bid.
onset seizure disorder,
I'm
which is
in the
devastating.
lead,
And they were identical twins.
and I guess the
Identical twins.
idea
And
so there's some
here
risk to the
is
other
to
twin, I
shorten
guess.
up the diamond
But
so that
apparently
I'll
she
cut
was
them
okay.
sooner.
And so, as I understand, and they are lovely people, and Charlotte was a force. They introduced this very
I
high
don't understand
CBD
why the Ten of
containing
Hearts.
the Stanley brothers from Colorado. They termed the original chemovar, the plant that this was derived from, hippies' disappointment, very high CBD.
Could be a signal that I
containing
don't
powder. Not gonna
have
get you high.
anything
They made it
higher. I
oil,
don't know.
and they gave
It's
it to
weird.
Charlotte. And what happened was this little girl went from having several hundreds of seizures a week to being almost seizure free, and then ultimately seizure free for a very big chunk of her life. Unfortunately, she died as a result of COVID related illness.
Oh,
Wow.
What? Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
yeah. 2020 is very heartbreaking. But this kid went from she couldn't walk, she couldn't talk, to having a normal childhood.
Okay, so this is a modern story. This is not some
Oh, yeah.
old story. Okay, sorry to take it down
It's
this
a
path
modern
of
story.
talking.
Whoa, what
spiders.
else did I miss?
Yeah.
I missed
Right.
Jack's
But
around.
they call the plant Charlotte's Web for Charlotte's
And
figures. I
a
think it's
run.
really lovely.
Oh, really
Okay,
beautiful.
I did terrible.
Really beautiful.
with the
And
meld
listen,
out
she will
round.
live
Okay.
forever.
Yeah, of
Her
course.
light shines very brightly. But the truth is, this was the first
gotta
time
remember
the
those
nation's sort of
categories.
consciousness was raised. Hey, wait a minute.
Runs
maybe
and
there's something to this.
marriages
And of course,
around
many people said, wait a minute, you're going to
pinnacle.
give cannabis to kids very,
Runs
very
and
high CBD, very,
marriages
very low,
around
and sometimes
pinnacle.
in certain cases, no THC.
No THC.
The CBD.
It's runs
Right.
and
So
marriages.
if
That's the
people
thing to remember,
continue
that
to
those two go
remember-
together.
that's true.
Runs
You,
and
in
marriages.
fact,
Makes
never
sense because
die.
it's the
It's
pairings.
a form of immortality.
Either everything or
remembered
just
by
the
as
loved
we
king
have
ones.
just
queen.
proven, Neil.
Runs and marriages
exactly.
around.
So what's your latest research now?
Pinnacle.
You have a
Okay.
PhD in neuroscience, so that means you're at it. You're busy. You're busy bee. So whose brains are you working on now?
All right,
We try to
let's
keep it safe.
continue.
So you know,
Oh, I
we
should have
spend a
done
lot
the
of
rest
time
of the
trying to
tables,
come
Mel,
up with
too.
novel approaches to different conditions or disease states that plague people,
Ace of
as well as
Spades?
thinking about health and wellness. And you know, for what it's worth, the Mind program hosts a lot of different studies. So we have
Ooh,
the
I
very
got
first
that-
ever
that one
longitudinal
out.
observational study of people
Yep,
using
let's say same
cannabis for
thing.
medical purposes. And we look at the way people use real products in real world situations. And we look at what the products are, how they use, when they
Ace of
use,
clubs.
and how they look over time, not just a week or two, or 3 months, 6 months, 12, 2 years, 3 years, which is amazing. First data of its kind. And we do neuroimaging.
Okay,
So we
just to
do-
be clear, you
Ace
just
of
described
clubs.
what longitudinal means in a study,
yeah,
right? Because their longitude lines go vertically on Earth's surface.
That
And
is
so
critical.
when you adopt that word for one of these epidemiological studies or direct study, you're looking for its effect sort of over time
right.
rather than a latitudinal, is that a word in your world?
Okay,
Where you look at everybody all at once.
Or cross-sectional study, exactly. which
Cross-sectional
is-
Oh, Ace of
I love that
diamonds.
it
Just to make
says-
just to make sure everybody's speaking the same language
It's
here.
a, no, it's a great point. I
It's great
think
to
of it
hear
this
the
way.
word.
All right, now I will be
Longitudinal
trying to
me
get
is
my
sort of like having a
partner
video.
in
Cross-sectional is sort of like a snapshot.
maybe in
right?
the
You'll grab a
the
snapshot,
the
one
one that
moment in
we
time, if you like.
passed
Yeah,
on. So maybe
each
the
have
Jack
their
of
value
Hearts.
to the researcher, right?
Oh,
Depending
Jack of
on
Diamonds.
what
Okay.
questions are getting asked. Right.
Absolutely. And look, acute administration studies where you give
Some of these
cannabis
some of these
varying
choices are
strengths
pretty
or
arbitrary, even
different
on the
modes of
computer
administration
side. But
have utility. I'm very interested in the long-term effects. What do people look like in the real world using real things for real conditions? Not what I come up with in the lab, but to that
yep, gotta
point,
try to beat that with
we
the
have
10.
longitudinal observational studies, we have a bunch of cross-sectional studies, and we have clinical trials where I make products designed or optimized to treat different symptoms based on the constituent that is the sort of quote ingredient profile of the cannabinoids
King
inherent
of
in them.
So speaking of
Spades?
that,
Why would
Stacey,
you?
when
Oh,
you
yeah,
talk
'cause
about
it's my
these
partner, my
ingredient
bad.
profiles, which
But Chuck is just upset he wasn't in any of your studies. He's
He
very
needs
upset
to
about
be.
Yeah.
no, you don't know it, but you're in my studies. so
Good.
but what I'd like to know is
Queen of Hearts.
so every drug has a very particular interaction with the brain chemically. And the resulting interaction causes certain parts of the brain to light up and do things. Since we have cannabinoid receptors,
Well, just to be clear, to light up on her sensors,
right?
Not
to
just
light
to
up on her
light up.
sensors. Correct. Thank you.
Just to be clear.
Wouldn't that be great, though? Let me
Just
tell you.
lights up.
Yeah, I am not. I'm not pro drug. However, if it made my brain just light up,
Yeah, not so bad.
that'd be a different story.
Not so bad.
Yeah. What does?
Oh yeah, we cut.
does
I have to
THC,
cut, even though he
do?
cut.
What's it actually doing, and what do these cannabinoid receptors? How do they play a part? Because you hear people say that proves we should be smoking weed.
Whoa,
It
the
proves
space.
because we got those receptors, so we should be doing this.
They
Jacket
say we're
clubs?
wired for weed, right? Wired
Nope,
for weed.
tennis spades,
Come on,
all right.
man, I'm wired for it if I got these receptors. So here's how it goes. So every mammal has what we call an endocannabinoid system. Endo meaning it's within us, right? It's our own system. A system, just think of it this way: chemicals and receptors throughout the brain and body, designed for
Queen of
not outside or exogenous cannabinoids
spades.
necessarily, but the things we make. We make our own cannabinoids. Anandamide and the two most common that we talk about are anandamide and 2-AG. Let's just leave it there for a minute. But to your point about what happens when you use cannabis. So cannabis is comprised of over 400 compounds, over 100 of which are phytocannabinoids. That is, they interact from the plant, they interact with our own endocannabinoid system. THC is the most common, that I think people know the most, and it's the primary psychoactive or intoxicating constituent from the plant. THC has a very strong affinity. That is, it binds pretty readily to CB1 and CB1 receptors throughout the brain. We have primarily two receptor types, CB1 and CB2. THC and CB receptors are very friendly. It binds pretty well.
Whoa.
CB1 receptors throughout the brain, CB2 primarily in the periphery and the gut. But that's what THC does. The interesting thing that we're just starting to find out now is that things like cannabidiol, a primary but non-intoxicating constituent from the plant touted for its therapeutic potential, doesn't bind to CB1 or CB2 receptors. It appears to modulate its effects through different receptor types, 5-HT1A like serotonin or TRP or vanilloid receptors. Really interesting. So you can very quickly begin to understand, if you start looking at these things, why people.
And I'm not going to play it because I'm super tired and I want to go to bed at a decent time tonight. So
at once, you might get a bigger bang for the buck. The so-called entourage effect. These things work together.
Yeah, I'm feeling the entourage effect, the weed and the wine and the everything, and I ate, and yeah, I'm good. I'm lovely, ready to go to bed. All right, folks, thank you so much for joining me. It is time for me to get out of here, and poof, I don't even have my screen thingy set up to poof properly. But no, seriously, appreciate you guys. In the name of the Darwin, the Dawkins, the Christopher Hitchens. Science bless you all. It's been a fun night. Thank you so much for watching, whether you watch now, later, or never. Whenever works for you, works for me. I'll see you guys later.